I'm so thankful to be here and together, and I do mean that every time I say it. It's so wonderful to come together and move our bodies in all these ways. Let's start on our forearms and knees with your elbows under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. In general, when your knees are under your hips and your elbows under your shoulders, elbows will end up being a little bit wider than the knees. And then flip your palms over. Keep rolling your thumbs towards the floor, even if they don't touch. Start with your hips right over your knees. So if you have to adjust your knees or your elbows a little bit. If you tend to really thrust your ribs like I am now, you can curl your ribs up just a little bit as long as it doesn't tuck your tailbone under. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our toes under, feeling all 10 toes, heels straight up and down. Go back any amount. Come forward, and then put the tops of the feet down and try to feel as much of the top of the foot as you can as you hinge back here, but only going so far back that the tailbone stays pretty high in the air. So just at your own pace, flip your feet or your ankles and go forward and back. Take your time. Feel all the toes. Feel the tops of the feet. Feel your ankles, your spine, your shoulders. Notice if you tend to consistently be in hyperextension where you're always looking forward. Relax your forehead down so the back of your neck is long. All right, next time the top of your feet go down and your hips go back a little bit, how about a shift side to side here? Relaxing any clenching around the thighs, around the buttocks muscles. And then bring your hips back to center, bring them forward a little, tuck the toes under. Try to feel the heels staying steady, straight up and down. And as your hips go back a little bit, how about shifting the hips here? Notice as you shift the hips, do the ankles have to go? Can you keep the toes and the ankles steady as you shift your hips side to side? Tuning into your breath if you haven't yet, just being aware of your wonderful inhales and exhales. And then let's come all the way onto our belly, and we'll start with some quadricep stretches. So grab your strap and you can create a loop and lasso it around. Let's start with the left side. Lasso it around your left ankle. And then from there you can create a pillow for your head, or you can put a pillow under your head or a block, anything to make sure your head is comfortable. Let's start with our left knee hopped over towards our right leg. So with our legs, thighs close together, gently flex your ankle, tilt your pubic bone down towards the floor, and you can pull your heel in any amount, but pay attention to the tilt of the pelvis first. It's a tilt, not a clench of the buttocks muscles. So check if when you tilt, you automatically clench, and try to relax the clenching, but keep the tilting. And always taking nice breaths. And then how about hopping that knee over so it's just in line with your hip? And same thing, tilt the pubic bone down. Gently flex the ankle. The heel can come in any amount. And then hop that left thigh out to the left. And as you can imagine, we're doing 3 angles here, but if you really want it to work on the front of your thighs, one reason you might do that is if you're having a lot of knee issues. You could do, 10 different angles here, just moving your thigh bone a little tiny bit and staying there in every angle for a couple breaths. And I'm sure That would feel absolutely wonderful. Relax any clenching. Gently flex the ankle as you pull the heel in any amount. And let's switch legs entirely. So loop that lasso around your right ankle. Hop your right knee, make your head comfortable, then hop your right knee over towards your left leg. Gently flex your ankle, gently tilt your pubic bone down towards the floor. And let's say when you are on your belly, when you tilt your pubic bone down to the floor, it's not reaching. Like you're getting in that direction, but it's never coming down to the floor. One thing you can do is when you do things on your stomach, more often you can put a rolled up towel underneath the top front of your pelvis, and then that will allow your pubic bone to come down with more ease. If you feel any pressure anywhere around your knee, you just don't pull your heel in so close to your buttocks. You let go of the strap. And I say pressure, but really any sensation in the joint is a sign to back off. All right, hop that right thigh bone in line with your hip. And since our go-to is our knee in line with our hip, sometimes when you do the other angles, you'll discover, ooh, I want to play with this angle more often. And you're welcome to do that, even if we're just doing one angle. You can go into an angle that you'd like to work on. And then take that right thigh bone out to the right a little bit. Gentle ankle flexion, tilt of the pubic bone down. All right, release that strap, and we're going to stay on our bellies, and we're going to let your body roll over to your right side a little bit as you bend your left knee out to the side, about in line with your hip, and then only roll back onto your stomach so much that it feels comfortable. You're trying to let that front of the pelvis come closer down to the floor. Your right ankle is right in line with your right knee and your right hip, so you might have to scoot it in or out a little bit, depending on where your leg likes to angle itself. And then keep relaxing around your left hip, around your left thigh. And then from here, we'll tuck our right toes under. Just you want your thigh to stay on the ground and slowly bend your right heel in towards your buttocks and extend the leg with the toes tucked under. Reach back through the heel. So as you do this motion of bending your right leg slowly and then extending and tucking your toes under and lengthening back through the heel, maybe the knee lifts up, you're continuously also giving a little awareness to your left thigh, relaxing and releasing around your hip. Let's do that 2 more times. And then let that leg relax. Kind of roll back onto your right side a little bit so you can extend your left leg all the way. So a lot of the times I have you start on your belly, just extend your leg and just see how much the leg will extend. Today, what I'd like you to do is roll over onto your right side, extend your leg all the way straight and roll back towards your pelvis, towards the front of your pelvis, only so much that the leg can stay really straight. So in other words, if the knee starts to bend, then don't roll over quite so much. And then try to, maybe with a block or your hands, make a comfortable situation for your head. And relax any clenching here around your hips, around your thigh muscles. Coming back to your breath, always, every time. And then let that left knee softly bend, slide that leg back behind you, roll over a little bit onto the left side of the body as you slide your right knee out to the right, just in line with your hip or a little bit lower. Only roll back onto your belly so much that it's comfortable, and you're trying to let your torso and the front of your hip come closer to the floor. Check if your left leg popped out to the side or popped in. Try to line it up with your hip. Tuck your toes under. Keep relaxing your right thigh as you bend your heel in towards your buttocks. And extend, tuck your toes under, and stretch back through that leg. And heel in. And reach back and reach long from the inner thigh, the outer thigh, the back of the thigh. And do that 2 more times. Relaxing all around the left hip and the left thigh. All right, relax your left leg. Roll a little bit to your left side so you can extend your right leg all the way. And then only roll back onto your belly and like you're trying to slide that leg away from you, but as much as you can keep your right leg very straight. Of course, if it's too intense with your leg straight, then just go back to a bent knee. Breathing here. And I'm going to scoop myself over a little further so that I can lengthen my leg a little bit more. Relaxing any clenching all around the hip, all around the thigh muscles. All right, and then soften that knee, let it slide back behind you. Use your hands to press yourself back up onto your knees. Come back down onto your forearms, feet active, whether tops of the feet or toes tucked under. Reach your right arm straight ahead. If it's comfortable for your shoulder, flip your palm up. Gently ground through the feet to keep the activity of the lower body. Slide that right hand over just a tiny bit so it's about in the center line, the midline of your body. And maybe you work with your palm rotating up. If not, palm face down. And slide that hand over a little bit more so it's in front of your left hand. Keep extending through the arm bone. So maybe your elbow stays lifted, your left elbow is down supporting you. And then you're going to take that right arm and reach it behind your left elbow. Put your shoulder down right about the midline of your body. You can either lay your head down or you can put a block underneath your head so it's comfortable. You can stay right here or you can extend your left arm long and wiggle your fingers forward. Smooth inhales and exhales. And then slide that elbow back, push down through that forearm, put your right elbow under your right shoulder, reach your left arm straight ahead. You can work with palm face down or flip your palm up any amount. Activate your feet, maybe switching. If you were doing top of the feet, do your toes tucked under. And then slide that hand over so it's the midline of your body. And then slide that hand over so it's more in front of your right hand. And you may be noticing here that one side of the body is different than the other. All right, bring that left hand back, slide it behind your right elbow, palm face up. Try to line up your shoulder in the midline of your body as you lay it down and either put your head on the floor or a block. And then you can stay right here, or you can extend your right arm and wiggle your fingers so that you're walking your right hand away from you. Make sure your head and neck are very comfortable here. Nothing should be straining because we're taking the shape, but then we're trying to somewhat relax in the shape. And of course, coming back to our breath. All right, slide your right hand back. Push down through your forearm or your hand as you slide your left arm out. And then from here, let's come back onto our belly. And from your belly, create cactus arms with your arms. And you're going to lay your forehead all the way down on the mat with your chin tucking in. You're going to just plant your feet down, tilt your pubic bone down, and then you're going to ramp your head from your belly. So if you're not sure, look up and watch me for the first couple. You're lifting the back of the head up towards your ceiling. You're not extending your neck. You're not doing this. You're not looking forward. You're keeping your face straight towards the floor and just lifting the back of your head up towards the ceiling and letting the forehead go back to the floor. Activate your feet, pubic bone down, ramp the back of the head up, and relax down. And ramp up, and relax down. And one more, ramp up, and relax down. Now keeping your forehead on the floor, try to ramp your ribs up. So curl your bottom ribs up off the floor and let them relax down. Curl your ribs up. You're not pushing down through your arms. Relax your arms and relax. Curl your ribs up off the floor. Pubic bone stays grounded. Front of the pelvis and feet stay gently active. And relax your ribs down and curl your ribs up off the floor. And relax your ribs down. Okay, how about both together? Ribs curl up, head ramps up, and lower down. Ribs curl up, head ramps up, and lower down. Ribs curl up, head ramps up, and relax down. Ribs curl up, head ramps up, and relax down. And then walk your arms in so your elbows are underneath your shoulders. And we're going to do another quad stretch here, but from a one-arm Sphinx pose. So wrapping your strap around your right ankle, knee in line with your hip. Push down a little bit through your left forearm. Think of your ribs and your head ramping up as you bring your heel in any amount towards your buttocks. And this is not comfortable for your body in any way, then just come down and let your torso relax on the mat. But otherwise, ribs curl up a little, head ramps up, pubic bone down, heel in any amount towards your buttocks, gently flex your ankle. Breathing here, let your thigh bone be heavy on the mat. just make sure that your knee's not lifting way up off the floor. There's a tendency that you can pull in and your knee comes up off the floor. All right, let's switch sides. So unwrap your ankle, right elbow right underneath your right shoulder. Lasso your strap around your left ankle. And then think of ramping your ribs up a little, ramping the back of your head up, keeping your thigh bone down, and pulling your heel in any amount. And breathing. All right, and release that strap for one more moment. Come on down to your belly. You can create a pillow with your hands. Bend both of your knees and just rock your thighs from side to side. And you can play with the width of your legs. You can bring your legs closer together and rock. You can open your legs wider than hip distance and rock. And then come back to center, bring your knees back to hip distance and press yourself up away from the floor. And then from here, you're going to tuck your toes under. Stand up on your knees, check your ankles, don't roll to one side or roll to the other side. And this is a great way to adapt your feet to longer amounts of time sitting back, or if you're not able to sit back at all without feeling like it's extreme, then being able to sit back over time is just by going up and down towards your heels. Now, if you find that this is too much for the bottom of your feet, then you can do the same version leaning forward, just takes pressure off of your feet. Come forward and sit back. But otherwise, and watch when you sit back, I round at my pelvis, try to untuck your pelvis, or you can just do the version where you stand up on your knees and sit your hips back. And then over time, you can just, stay back for an extra second or two and then come back up. Okay, so your choice, you can be in the high version, tucking your toes under more, or sit back towards your heels, untucking your pelvis, either one. And then from here, let's reach our right arm down to our right. So side bend, come up, left arm down to the left, and come up. Right arm comes down, left arm bending from the waist and the rib cage. Check on your ribs, so we'll do one more each side. If your ribs tend to lift up, that will prevent you from bending straight to the side, so ribs relax down even though your pelvis is upright. Okay, next time you go to the right, hold, and how about letting your right ear drop towards your right shoulder. If your chin tends to lead the way, slide your chin back. So it's like you're in a side bend with your neck, but you're gently ramping your head back. And push down lightly with your hand to come up and bend over to the left, bending from the ribs, bending from the waist. Ramp your head back a little bit and drop your left ear over towards your left shoulder. Checking that your heels are still straight up and down. And of course, you can do this from the higher version, standing up on your knees. And then push down through your hand to lift your torso up, to lift your head up. And then from here, let's come on to all fours. Spread your thumbs out towards each other. Hands a little wider than knees. Wrap your elbow pits forward. But anytime we're on all fours or on one hand, we're working on the wrapping of our elbow pits without pushing our elbows in front of our wrists. So arms are straight, but elbows back up. Belly relaxed, tailbone in the air, lift up into the top of a rhomboid push-up. Extend your right leg back, tucking your toes under, and then you'll lift up onto your toes and rock back towards your heel. And press off all 5 toes and rock back. And press off and rock back and press off and rock back. Lower the knee down, check. Elbow pits. Continuously working on wrapping forward without pushing forward if you have that ability. And then extend your left leg back. Keep working on the upper body as you rock back towards your heel and push off towards the tip of your toes. Rock back and press off. And rock back and press off. And rock back and press off. And then rock back, lower that knee down, stand up on your knees, step your right foot forward into a lunge. You're going to walk your right ankle a little in front of your right knee. You can bring your hands down to the floor or to a block as your hips go forward. If your hips tend to twist to one side, untwist. Actually, let's twist our hips a little bit. So just let your hips go over to one side and then let your hips go over to the other side. As you're playing around here on your mat, elbow pits can still wrap forward, thumbs can still stretch out. And then bring your hips to center. Keep letting your hips drop forward. Tuck your back toes under and untuck. Top of the foot gently presses down. Tuck under and top of the foot down. Tuck under and top of the foot down, tuck under, and then keep your toes tucked under, push down through your front ankle, walk yourself up. If you need to slide your right ankle under your knee, do. Pubic bone leads the way. Twist your belly button towards your right leg. Feel the turn of your waist. Keep your chin right over the center of the chest to start, and then go ahead and reach your right arm back behind you, thumb pointing up. And reach back through those fingers. And then just keep the twist of the belly where it is. Keep the arm where it is. Steady your feet. And with your chin parallel with the floor, turn your neck and look over toward your right thumb. And feel the twist of the neck muscles. Breathing here. Unwind the neck first. Bring your arm back next. Unwind your waist. And then slide your right knee back to meet your left knee. Step your left leg forward. Ankle walks in front of the knee a little bit. Hands down to the floor of the block as the hips come forward. Rock your hips a little bit side to side with your hips going forward. Breathing. You can always pad your knee over. And then find that center spot and top of the foot down or tuck under if your top of the foot was down, and tuck your toes under, flexing your ankle or dorsiflexing your ankle. Plantar flexion, dorsiflexion, and go back and forth between the two a couple more times. While you're here with your upper body, thumbs spreading out, elbow pits wrapping forward. Next time you tuck your toes under, walk yourself back. You can slide your left ankle back a little, stand up in your low lunge, twist just your belly button to the left, then reach your left arm out behind you, thumb up, and reach long through that arm. Breathing here, and then from there, chin stays parallel, turn and look over that hand, steady feet. Notice if your chin wants to lead the way, relax it down. And keep turning from the neck, reaching from the arm, turning from the belly button, breathing. Bring your head back first, bring your arm back next, unwind your waist, and then from there, take your left leg back to meet your right leg. And then once you're here, you're going to tuck your toes under again. Sit back towards your heels, bring your hands down, lift your knees up, push your hips back, let your heels come to the floor. Keep a bend in your knees as you fold over your legs. Maybe your head drops down. Breathing. Check, are my feet straight? Are my ankles about hip distance apart? How about straighten your legs a little bit more here? Your hands can come up a little higher. And then from there, straighten your legs a little bit more. Your hands can come up a little bit higher onto your legs. Nice long spine. Lower belly relaxing, come up halfway. Back your weight up into your heels. Nice place to work on neutral rotation of the thigh bone as long as the outer edges of the feet are straight. And then press through the backs of the legs to come all the way up to stand. Okay, from here, from our upright position, let's do our right foot forward, our left foot back, feet hip distance apart, outer edges of feet straight. And then you're going to lift off your left heel and bring the weight forward like you're about to balance on your right leg, and then go back down with your heel. So you're transferring the weight. You're putting the weight on your back leg, and then you're lifting up and transferring it to your front leg. Weight goes down to your back leg and transfer it to your front leg. Both legs staying straight. Weight goes back to your back leg, transfer the weight to your front leg. So keep in mind, transfer the weight to your front leg. Remember, you want to be pressing down, and if your hip tends to slide out to the side, hugging your hip in as you go ahead and bring that leg forward. And then transfer that leg back and lower your heel down. Lift your heel up, transfer the weight, watch where the hip slides to, and bring the foot forward. Slide the foot back, lower the heel down, lift up off the heel, hug your right hip in, and bring that leg forward. And step your foot back, heel lowers down, lift up off the heel, right hip hugging in as you transfer the weight and balance, and then this time, tuck the top of your left foot behind you. Try to get on the center of the top of the foot, meaning not rolling your ankle to one side or the other. If you're kind of stuck on your toes and you can't get beyond them, maybe cushion your foot. This is really nice. I figured out during the wintertime wearing a sock. It just gives just enough cushion. Interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, press away, spread your thumbs out to the sides, and just stay here for a moment. And you can play with, where is your hip in space? Is your weight forward into the front of your foot, back your weight up? Can you rotate that standing leg thigh bone into neutral? And then you can also play with your top of the foot stretch. Does it feel good for you to go to the outer ankle a little bit, or do you need more stretch along the big toe side of your foot, or a center just perfect for you? And then release your hands, step your left foot forward, step your right foot back, ankles hip distance apart, outer edges of feet straight, lift up off the heel, transfer the weight to your front leg, lower that heel down any amount. Lift up, transfer the weight, notice the hip, does it want to go out to the side? Even now you can practice keeping it in, and lift. My hip definitely likes to go out to the side, so as I push forward, I'm going to keep my hand on my hip for feedback. And go back down. If your knee wants to bend, pay attention to that, legs straight. And then this time let's start our balancing. So lift up off the heel, push down, hug the hip in, and step the foot back, lower the heel down. Push down, hug the hip in, bring the foot forward. And step back, land on all 5 toes, lower the heel down. Push off, hug your left hip in, come up to balancing, and step that foot back and lower the heel down, hug the hip in, lift up off the ball of the foot. Take your time in each step, feel the work, feel the transfer, and then push down, hug that hip in to bring your leg forward, and then tuck the top of that right foot back behind you. Find the center of the foot, interlace your left pinky finger on the bottom, press away, spread your thumbs out. Check, can you push down or hug your left hip in a little? Maybe if the outer edge of your foot is straight, play with rotating your left thigh bone into neutral. And then of course you can play with where you're doing the top of the foot stretch depending on what your foot needs. Ooh, my foot on that side definitely needs more around my big toe inner arch. Breathing here. Relaxing any clenching. And release your fingers and release your foot. Okay, from here, let's grab whatever you're going to use for a calf stretch. Put the ball of your right foot up, your heel down, outer edge of foot straight. You can step your left foot forward any amount. You can work on rotating your thigh bones into neutral. Just reach your arms up into the air and breathing. Front ribs relax down. Notice, does your ankle roll to one side? Do your thighs internally rotate? Do your feet try to keep scooting so they're not straight anymore? And then bring your arms out to the side, rotate your palms up, and put a bend in that knee, steering it towards the center of the foot. Breathing here. All right, let's switch sides. Reach the arms up into the air. Ball of the left foot goes up, edge of the feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Maybe you step that outside foot forward. How about working on either relaxing the front of your thighs or rotating your thigh bones into neutral? Check the tilt of your pelvis. Check the tilt of your rib cage. Open up through your fingers a little bit. You can't see mine. Do you tend to lean to one side? Bring your arms down, palms face up, bend the knee. A lot of times when you bend the knee and you steer it towards the center of your foot, the heel hops in. So put that foot back to straight as you work on bending that knee. Breathing here. Arms get tired, you give them a break. Just come back. So much better to rest when you need to, and instead reach your arms out to the sides more often throughout the day so that next time you come here or a month after when you come here, your arms feel great being here. That's what your body likes. Your body doesn't like aggressive pushing as much as for some reason we've taught ourselves to think that our body loves that. Aggressive, oh my gosh, it aches to be here. If you just do things more often, your body will feel great while you're there. Okay, relax your arms, come off of that calf stretch. You can put that out of the way. All right, from the top of the mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Do you tend to push your hips forward, back your thigh bones up with a neutral pelvis? Right arm goes up and over into a side bend. Left arm goes up and over into a side bend. Good. Watch the ribs, because if the ribs are pushing forward, it's not going to allow you to bend the same way through the side of your rib cage, which is very important for breathing. Come back up, interlace your right pinky finger on the bottom, hands behind your head. Now, it's very common when people bend back from their upper back that they thrust their pelvis forward. Let's not thrust our pelvis forward. Keep your legs grounded, your pelvis in neutral. Maybe you can even rotate your thigh bones into neutral and just bend the mid to upper back, letting your head be nice and comfortable in your hands. And then reach your arms out to the sides as you sit back into a chair pose and twist your right hand inside your right knee, turning from the belly button. Open your arms up, twist your left hand inside your left knee, turning from the belly button. Now keep in mind, if your knees are doing this or your hips are shifting, you're not actually turning from your waist anymore. So knees and feet stay even. And then bring that hand down, stretch your legs straight, maybe rotate the thigh bones into neutral. You're working with a long flat back here, not the upper body kind of hinging forward. And then one bone at a time, let your head, then your upper back, then your mid back, then your lower back, round down. It's perfectly okay to bend your knees here. Then we're all going to bend our knees. Keep your right foot forward, step your left leg way back. And when I say way back, I had someone ask me this, and I think it's a great question because it shows how what I say can be interpreted in so many different ways. He said, how far back? The reason I'm saying way back is so that your front knee stays lined up over your ankle. If you step back and your leg doesn't go way back, the chances are higher that your knee is going to end up in front of your ankle. So you're going back enough that it has that space for your shin to be vertical. And then put your back knee down. Try to scoot that back knee back a little, so maybe your right knee comes behind your right ankle a little bit. And then from here, with your hands on the floor or on the block, walk your right foot a step or two out to the right with the edge of your foot still straight, and let your right thigh bone roll open and bring it back up. Right thigh bone rolls open to the edge of the right foot, and press the foot back down to the floor. Left foot stays steady. Right thigh bone rolls open and back to the sole of the foot. Hips stay steady, so our hips are not turning to one side or the other. And right thigh bone rolls open. And bring that foot down to the floor. And then walk that right thigh bone back in so your ankle's under your knee. Lift your back knee up, hold there, press long through that leg. How about thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward, back of the head ramping towards the ceiling. Then bring your hands, if they're not already, inside your right foot and walk halfway around to the left. Back your weight up into your heels. Grab a block or anything you have that's higher nearby, and then back your weight up and push all the way up to stand. Interlace your right pinky finger again behind your head. Again, try not to push your pelvis forward as you bend your mid-back back. So there's that tendency to push the hips forward. Back your hips up, weight stays over the heels, so you're just bending back from your spine. And then bring your spine up, open your arms out. Only move from the upper body, from the waist up. Twist your belly button to the right, so you're not letting your left hip go with. And then twist your belly button to the left, reaching long through your arms. Breathing. Come back to center. Come into a half forward fold, putting your left hand on the block right underneath your left shoulder, reaching your right arm out. Now pay attention to the left elbow pit. Wrap it forward towards your fingers and then twist open. If a block is too low, you can always put your hands on the seat of a chair. We want to work with a pretty flat back here. Twisting your belly button open. Your arm is just going along for the ride. And then bring that hand down, put the block underneath your right shoulder. Left arm reaches out to the side. Pay attention to the rotation of that left arm. You can even spread your thumb off the block here, of that right arm, and then twist open from the belly button. Palm faces forward, backing your weight up into your heels, feeling the waist turn, breathing. Good, and then lower that hand down. You can bend your knees or just fold forward with two straight legs and walk your hands over towards your right foot. And walk your hands to center and over towards your left foot. Or your opposite foot, whichever one that may be. And then walk yourself back around to your right foot and keep on going and spin your feet back into that lunge with your right foot forward. Put your left knee down. Notice if your hips drop to one side. Square your hips. Left hand on a block, elbow pit wrapping forward or on the floor. And then turning from your belly button towards your right leg. Keep rotating the left elbow pit forward as you reach the right arm into the air. Breathing here. You can stay right here. You can tuck your back toes under and lift your knee. You can just keep turning from the belly button if you'd like to. You can tap your knee down and lift it again. How about if your knees lift it, you roll forward towards your toes and back towards your heel. Keep turning from the belly button, keep wrapping the left elbow pit forward, lift up off your toes, go back towards your heel. Come back to center, bring that right hand down, bring your left knee down, stand up here in your low lunge, ankle under your knee, and push down through your back leg to step up to the top of the mat. Okay, top of the mat, feet straight, ankles hip distance apart. Watch the ribs staying relaxed down as you take your left arm up and over into a side bend. Your right arm up and over into a side bend. So many things you could be paying attention to here. Left pinky on the bottom, hands behind the head. Are my feet straight? Are my ankles hip distance? Is my thigh bones in neutral? Are my hips over my heels? Is my pelvic tilt in neutral? Don't get overwhelmed, but focus on one thing at a time, and then you can start building. Try to bend your upper body back without thrusting your pelvis forward at all, without thrusting your chin or your ribs forward. Sit back into your chair pose, reach your arms out to your sides. Now, if your feet and knees don't stay steady, again, work right hand inside right knee, or you can take it across to the left knee and open your arms up, left hand inside left knee, or take it across, hip steady, turning from the belly button. Unwind, thigh bones rotate into neutral as you straighten your legs, long, flat back. Not diving down. I see people often in neutral pelvis, but their upper back and head are still diving down. And then from here, let's roll our chin down, our upper back down, our mid back down. You can bend your knees at any time, our lower back down, and then everyone bend your knees and step your right leg way back. Softly lower your right knee down, walk your left foot out a step or two with the edge of the foot straight. Hands down to the floor of the block. Let your hips go forward. So if you need to, walk your left ankle forward and roll to the outer edge of your left foot. And then roll and point that foot flat. And I'll do it from a standing position just so you can see. You're rolling your thigh bone out to the outer edge of your foot and putting your foot back to flat. Let's do 2 more like that. Roll out just to the edge of the foot. And put the sole of the foot back down and roll out to the edge of the foot. And put the sole of the foot back down. And then from there, walk your foot in so your ankle's right under your knee. Tuck your back toes under, lift your knee. Thumbs spread out, elbow pits wrap forward here. So just like we want it to be when we're in our twist later. And then bring your hands inside your left foot if it wasn't already there, and walk halfway around to the right. Parallel your feet, back your weight up into your heels, push through the backs of the legs to come up. From here, interlace left pinky finger on the bottom, hands behind the head. Think of bending your spine back without thrusting your pelvis forward, without thrusting your chin forward. Even without thrusting your ribs forward. It's okay if it's really small. Breathing here. And then as your head comes up, your arms open, twist your belly button to the left, and twist your belly button to the right. All right, come back to center. Right arm goes up and over into a side bend. Check on the rib cage. And then from our side bend, let's twist our belly button one way and twist our belly button the other way. Come back to center, pull yourself up. Left arm goes up and over. Breathing. Twist your belly button one way. Twist your belly button the other way. And back to center, pull your torso up. Rotate from your pelvis Backing your heel up, let your spine go down, and then we're going to walk around to our left foot, back at the front of the mat. Spin onto the ball of your back foot, put your knee down, hips stay steady, right hand on the block or the floor, thumb spreads out, elbow pits wrap forward right under your shoulder, twist your belly button open towards your left leg and reach your left arm into the air. Breathing here. Turning from the waist, not from the hips. My hips have a hard time not turning, so I have to really pay attention to that. And then if you'd like to, lift your back knee, keep bending your front knee, tap it down. Again, lift your back knee, maybe stay, roll off your back toes, roll back to your heel. Try to keep your front knee bent. Roll off your toes, roll back towards your heel, come back to your toes, twist open from your belly button, lower the hand down, lower your back knee down, stand up in your low lunge, and slide your left leg back to meet your right leg. Come down onto your forearms, feet active, knees and feet hip distance apart, elbows and hands shoulder distance apart. Reach your left arm behind your right elbow, palm face down. You can lay your shoulder about the center of your body. You can use your other hand as a pillow, your other forearm or hand. And then all we're going to do while we're here is we're going to change the rotation of this left arm, the arm that's reaching through. So now rotate from the shoulder so your thumb points up. And for today, just keep your shoulder about the midline of your body so you're not turning more today. Breathing. And then rotate your palm to face up. Try to touch all 5 fingers to the floor, fingernails. Check in with the activity of your feet. Do your ankles always like to roll to one side? I can't tell you how to feel, but if you get upset with yourself, try to get out of that mindset. Oh, there go my ankles again. 10 years later, my ankles are still rolling in. If you can laugh at yourself, this process will go a lot smoother for you because it is a lifelong process. Okay, how about rotating that arm bone so your palm faces forward? Your thumb comes down. And let's switch sides. So elbows under the shoulders, feet active, palm face down. As you reach your right arm through, just your shoulder is either laying down or lifted up, but about the center line of your body. You can use your other arm as a pillow. There go my feet again, rolling towards off the outer edge of my top of my foot. All right, rotate that right arm bone so your pinky finger's down, your thumb's up in the air, so the palm of your hand is facing toward your feet. Keep letting that shoulder drop down towards the floor, the right shoulder. Rotate the palm of your hand from your shoulder so that it faces up. Maybe try to touch all 5 fingernails to the floor. And then rotate from your upper arm bone so your thumb goes down and the palm of your hand faces towards the top of your head. And if that rotation is not comfortable, then just go back to the back of your hand on the floor. Tune into your breath. And then relax that arm as you slide it out. And from here, come onto your back with something underneath your head. You can definitely have something for underneath your arms as you reach them overhead. I often do something with something under my hands. And today I'm going to do it again with something under my hands. You definitely can just do it with your hands on the floor as well. But you have 3 different heights if you have a block: lowest height, medium height, highest height. So today I'm going to do the lowest height. Reach your arms up, walk your arms and your legs over to the right, slide your upper body over a little bit. Maybe put your left hand on top of your right hand, maybe cross your left ankle on top of your right, and then let the left side of the body roll back down so it's as much on the mat as the right side of the body. And enjoy your body, enjoy your breath. You can always check on the tilt of your pelvis. You can always check on the thrust of your ribs. So it's so subtle, probably so subtle that your eyes could not see, but my pelvis was slightly tucking under. And when I untucked it, my ribs very slightly went up. So for me, it's that combination of untucking and softening my ribs down a little bit. If you don't have the space to do that, or if your body kind of fights you, that's where props come in handy, getting your head and your shoulder blades a little bit higher. Let's go over to the other side. So slide the block over, or just your hands over, slide your legs over. Reach your arms long. So if you're always doing your arms on the floor, but your arms are really bent, maybe you work with the block for a while so you can straighten your arms even more. And even if you always do the arms overhead, sometimes work with the block, because all those different angles of the shoulder are wonderful. Maybe your right hand goes on top of your left as you slide your torso a little bit to the left. Maybe your right ankle crosses on top of your left ankle. Let the right side of your body be as much on the mat as the left side of your body. Check on the tilt of your pelvis, the tilt of your rib cage. Taking a nice breath into the sides of the back of the ribs and exhale all the way out. And then start to unwind your arms and unwind your legs, coming back to center. We are going to block, or whatever you have, a rolled up towel works great. You're going to put it under your shoulder blades. So you might have to roll up or rock up for a moment. Block or rolled up towel under your shoulder blades, nothing under your head. Right at the base of your neck, pretty high up. You have to find that right spot, but under your shoulders. Interlace your hands behind your head so your neck is not straining at all. You've got a nice grip so your head is very comfortable, your neck is comfortable. Stretch your legs straight. Curl up like you're doing a crunchie. Feel those front ribs drop all the way down and back. And then see how much you can drop your head back without this happening, without your ribs lifting up. So your ribs stay down and back. Maybe you even feel them touch the floor. And bend back any amount. And you'll know if you're too high or too low on the block, because there won't be room for your head to drop back at all, or your ribs to stay down. And then slowly curl back up. Front ribs come all the way down. When your ribs come down, does your pelvis slightly tuck under? Relax your pelvis and bend back. And be very particular sometimes. Can I keep my ribs relaxing down where they were? You might notice one side of your back wants to go back farther than the other. Work kindly with the side that doesn't want to go back as far. And let's do that 2 more times. Curl yourself up, front ribs go down, and bend back any amount. Opening the upper back. And curl yourself up and bend back. My left side definitely wants to pull up a lot more than my right side, but I already knew that based on my left hip and my left shoulder, so I can just always be aware of that. And curl yourself back up. Feel those ribs drop down. Twist your upper body to the right. Roll your upper body back to center. Twist it a little bit to the left. Come back to center. Lift your head up on its own. Hopefully that's okay. Slide your block back. Put it underneath your head. Bend your left knee 90 degrees. Ribs stay down. Turn just from the waist and the pelvis. Feel like your left hip is traveling away from you. So it's not hiking up by your waist. It's traveling away from you. And switch sides. Bend your right knee. Twist from the belly button. Feel the hip travel away from you as you turn just from the pelvis and the waist. And unwind and knees come in, but tailbone goes away from you. If you want, you can stay here, relax your elbows to your sides. Maybe as your tailbone goes down, your ribs drop down and you lift and curl your head in a little bit. And then how about letting your lower back flatten so your knees come closer. Soften your face, relax your jaw. Untuck your pelvis first, then lower your head down, then lower your feet down, and then stretch your legs long for your final pose, Savasana. Let your gaze soften or your eyes gently close. Wiggle your body out so the back of your body feels nice and spacious. If you have the room, you can take up a little bit of space. Feel as though your floor is there to support you, so you can just soften into it. Let your toes soften, your fingers soften, your forehead, your eyes, your nose, and your lips soften. And stay present with your body and your breath. Take better care of yourself than you ever have before. That's what your heart is telling you to do. Those times of depriving yourself, not being gentle and loving with yourself, will no longer work. Punishing, criticizing, repressing, and denying won't bring the feelings, the growth, the result you're seeking. The harder you push, the more you relentlessly demand perfection, sometimes the worse you'll feel. Fall in love with yourself, with your fingers, with your toes. Be gentle, loving, kind, and attentive. Take time throughout each day to tend to your needs, just as you would tend to someone you loved deeply and dearly. Loving and caring for yourself this way won't waste time. It's not a delay. Take better care of yourself, and life's magic will return. Your life will improve. You'll feel better. Taking care of yourself is a simple act with profound consequences. If you are ready to wiggle or rock any part of your body, feel free to do that. Roll to one side. Pause there. Curling up, take a breath. Let go of your exhale all the way. Press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Feel free to mix it up. Bringing your hands together at heart center in gratitude for this day. Namaste.